Hi guys, welcome back to Impossible. Did you guys miss me? So if this is your first time, welcome. So today I'm going to be doing part 7.5. So you like a Taurus man, things to know. I told you I had two May Tauruses. My current man is May 6th, and I dealt with a May 15th. Okay, so I'm going to talk about May 15th today. Okay. Now, May 15th, I'm going to need a drink after this. May 15th is younger than me. He is a married man. Okay, I'm not going to go too much into details because, depending on who see this video. But yeah, he is younger than me, and I know him for going on 3 years now. So when I first met May 15th, he was only 28 years old, and at that time my son was 24. So it's just like, okay, and he was married. So that was totally out of the question. But the moment that I saw May 15th, we locked eyes. It was kind of crazy, but we locked eyes, and right away I knew something was going to happen or something was going to occur between him and I. Crazy. I don't know if it ever happened to you, but just when you look at somebody, you just know. Okay, but when I found out his status, that he was married and he was young, and all of this and all of that, I decided like, no, I'm gonna stay away from that. Okay, so very quiet, very laid back. But then I noticed that he started taking interest in me, like coming to me, asking me questions, and me answering them, and so on and so forth. And then he started sharing personal information about his wife, about his child, and this is that and the third. Okay, so we started out as friends. But at this time now, I'm not thinking he took interest in me. I'm just like totally ignoring the fact, and I'm respecting the fact that he is married and younger than me. He's 11 years younger than me. Okay, so I was just like, okay, and I left it alone. So all the signs that he was throwing out there, I wasn't catching. Okay, I wasn't catching. And I wasn't looking for it, because what am I going to do with you? You're young and you're married. Okay? But that look, I just know, and ladies and gentlemen, he is fine. When I tell you he is fine, he is gorgeous. Gorgeous. Okay? Gorgeous. All right? Okay? And nice body and everything. Nice teeth, nice smile, everything. Okay? And know how to take care of himself. But then, this is why you have to be careful. I didn't see what he was doing. Okay, I didn't see by him asking me questions, and by me, divulging information about my son. Like, hey, my son is married too, but my son is in the army. So I thought that, I looked at him more as a son than I did as someone to connect with. Be intimate with. That went out the window. Okay, so I'm sharing things about my son, his marriage. They're both young, got married young. So I was just like, okay, you shared something in common with my son, and this and that and third. He was kind of surprised that I had an older son like that, and I said, yeah, and I have another son that's 20 at that time 21. Okay, so anyway, he was kind of surprised, like, wow. I was like, yeah, I have 4 kids and stuff like that. So I'm feeding him information, and he's feeding me information. That's the crazy part. So the more and more we talk every day, the more and more he starts sharing personal things, at home and this and that. And I'm giving him advice. He's asking for my advice. All right, so I'm gonna, so listen to what I'm saying. So these are keys to know that they're interested on the down low, especially if they're involved already in a marriage or a relationship. This is how they come about. Okay, you know, so, you know, sharing things about advice and, you know, this and that, what he want to do in the future, his plans, and, you know, so forth and so on. Excuse me. Okay, so, you know, we used to laugh and have fun. Okay. Now, let's move it on forward. So, you know, when I wouldn't show up to work, he would, you know, we exchange numbers. Okay, so when I wouldn't show up, he would like text me like, yo, what's going on? Why you not at work? And I'm like, oh, you know, this and that and this and that and this and that. So, you know, just little things here and there was happening. But again, I wasn't paying attention to it. Okay? All right. So one particular time I had got sick. And I called out. So he's like, oh, why didn't you tell me? I would have come and brought you some soup and this and that. So I'm like, come all the way over here. And he was like, yeah, you know. Yeah, little did Tasha know it was the setup. It was the setup. Okay. So he came, whatever. And we end up having sex. Okay. Now, he kind of surprised me because he was like really, really freaky. I was like, oh, okay. Just the way I like him. Like, wow. Okay. All right. Okay. So, but that wasn't the end of that. We continued having sex. It was just like this thing with us. You know, we couldn't, you know, leave each other alone sexually. Okay. All right. So it got to a point where at this time now, his wife gets pregnant again. Right. But I didn't know. Okay. So I see he started becoming distant. Right. But then I found out from someone else that his wife was pregnant and this is that third. And I was like, oh, okay. You know, okay. But at this time now, I'm seeing April 23rd. Okay, at this time now, I'll see April 23rd. So it really didn't, you know, bother me as much. It just bothered me for the simple fact that he could have told me, and it wouldn't have been a problem. Okay. All right. So then I approached him like, hey, you know, congratulations or whatever the case would be. But he acted like he told me, and I was like, nah, you didn't tell me, and that's nothing with them. So I was like, nah, you didn't tell me, but you know, congratulations, you know. Okay. But then he tried to flip it like, oh, you know, get married, be happy, move on with your life, and this and that, right? Which I find kind of funny because I was like, yo, I'm a grown woman. Like, you ain't gotta tell me to move on with my life. Like, he didn't know what I was doing, you know, that I was seeing other people. But it's just like, I just find it kind of funny because I'm gonna touch bases on all of this stuff like in the future. But like when people is a situation where they feel like, oh, it's not you, it's me. They try to like reverse it. It's like, it's not you, it's me. You know, so, you know, but I was okay with it. Okay, I was a little bit upset. Like, okay, well, wow. I thought we were friends. You could have told me this, but okay, no problem. Right? But then with the whole, get married and move on with your life and be happy, I was just like, all right, my man, like, yo, I'm 40. Like, you ain't got to tell me, you know, at that time. You didn't have to tell me to move on or whatever the case may be. All right, I'm doing me. But I didn't want to, like, throw pie in the face. I just laughed it off like, okay, whatever. Right? Okay, so we went all that time not talking and, you know, that's it. Friendship over. That's it. Okay. Now, wife give birth, and at this time now, we not seeing each other because COVID and I'm working from home and this and that, no communication. But then I get a message out of the clear blue, right? But now I'm with, you know, my man, May 6th, okay, which is none of his business, but it's just like, what are you doing? You know, like, what are you doing? Okay. How you doing? This and that, and the third. Okay. All right. And I'm doing 7.5. I'm explaining May 15, his actions. So these are clues to look out for when a Taurus man likes you, third party situation, when they involve, whatever the case may be, how they're gonna act, and just these are signs to look out for. Okay. All right. So anyway, oh my God. I said, what is it? 1 minute you're my friend, next minute, we haven't spoken to all this time, all these months. So what's up? So he's like, oh, I miss you, all this shit. All right. And I'm listening to him like, okay, all right, okay, right. But I'm the type of person like once my mind is made up with you, like I could care for you, but I would not put my situation, I would not put myself in that situation again. But here goes the shit. Look what Tasha, my man, oh God. Anyway, we end up sleeping together again. After all these months again, right? So basically he's telling me that he missed me, he thought about me every day, this and that he had to I had to understand why he did what he did, because he had obligations, which is totally understandable. But at this time now, I'm not telling him that I have a man. For those of you who know, my man is locked up right now, so I'm not telling him all of this. I'm just going with the flow, basically going with the flow, because now the ball is in my court. Okay, it always been in my court, but I'm gonna show him something. So anyway, so he's talking about, oh yeah, we have chemistry, I thought about you every day, this and that. And this is another thing with Taurus men, they know how to use their words. They're very charming. Okay, snake charmers. All right. And Tasha was backed up, whatever. I'm not having sex. My man is locked up. So I was just like, whatever. It's safe dick. All right, cool. So we end up doing our thing again. All right, again. But now this time it kind of changed. It kind of changed in a sense. Okay. And I'm going to tell you how. So, now, yeah, we had sex. It was great. It was always great with us. But now it's a sense of when I don't talk or I'm acting cold, he's sending me music videos, or he's popping up to where I'm at, like looking for me if I don't answer his text. And, it's just like, okay, what are you doing? So I told him, listen, what's the problem? We haven't spoken in months. So what's the problem? So he's like, it's a problem now. I said, well, what's the problem now? And he's like, well, I cannot just not see you and not talk to you and not touch you and not, do these little things. It bothers me. Well, it didn't bother you before. And it doesn't bother me now. So let's keep it like that. Right? Okay? He didn't know how to handle that. Okay? Because you're married, my man. Like, what do you expect me to do? You told me to move on, right? You told me, oh, go get married and be happy. Okay. Well, Tasha's, doing her thing. You know what I'm saying? Not to say that I don't care about him. I do. But at the same time, and this is the whole thing, when you involve in a third party situation, you have to know how to bow out. You have to say to yourself, okay, well, this one is not, no, I'm not going to move forward with this one. This one I have to tap out. Okay, see you later. All right? As much as it may hurt you or bother you, you have to, for your own sanity. Okay? Because there's other people out there. They are. My man come home in July. So what am I possibly going to do with me? Yeah, I care for him. But I'm not leaving my man. I'm not. And do you think my man want to hear that? Hell no. My man gonna be like, oh, no. Cause I tried before with my man, like, yo, this ain't gonna work. I don't do this jail shit. And he was like, well, look, he didn't call me for 3 days, and he called me 3 days later, like, look, you're not just gonna break up with me like that, Tosh. No, you're not. I'm not gonna tell you I'm in love with you, and you just gonna play with my feelings. No, I'm vulnerable right now, and you play with my feelings. So, you know, you over that, you over this funk, you know, you're not upset anymore. All right, cool. Let's move on. That's how Taurus could be when they're in love. You know, they will fight for the relationship. They're not just gonna let you go easily. Okay? All right. Now, ever since I did that to May 15, because I had to show him. I had to show him that I wasn't playing. So what I did was just distance myself, like just fell off a radar. Bam. That's it. You know, not feeding into him, not, okay? That's it. All right? And now it became again ignoring and, you know, talking but not talking a lot and stuff like that. So part 8, I'm going to explain to you why this occurred, why this is happening, how they act and stuff like that. Okay, so he's in an unhappy relationship, marriage, right? I have nothing to do with that. That's something that he has to come to terms with, okay? And that's where everyone facing their own demons. All right, you're in an unhappy relationship. Oh my goodness, I couldn't say unhappy, but you're in an unhappy relationship. You know, it's not for the other person to solve the problems. You're married, so marriage is a big deal. You know, I used to say I would never sleep with a married man, but never say never. Okay, like I said, I'm not perfect. All right, I'm not here to break up a happy home. All right, so this is something that he has to come to terms with. All right. Basically that. Okay. So you can't have your own way in a married life. You can't have it. You know, so I'm showing him you can't have your cake and eat it too. You know, what we did was for fun, and I did that behind my man's back. Right? He's locked up. You know, if it ever comes a day where I have to tell him, I will. I have no problem with that. Okay? So it is what it is. But like I said, when you find yourself in third party situations, just know that that person is not going to leave that relationship, and you have to do your own thing. Don't get caught up with feelings and feeling any kind of way, because the only one that's going to get hurt in the long run is you. Waiting on a possibility that's never going to happen. Waiting on a dream that never going to come about. Okay? All right? So, yeah. Do I care for him? Yeah, I care for him. But not enough to stop my life and say, oh, I love you. No. He's not for me to love. He already has someone there to love him. Okay? And I'm going to jump into part 8 now, and I'm going to tell you signs to look out for when the Taurus man is in love. Third party situations or friends with benefits, stuff like that. Okay? So I shared May 15th, and part 8 coming up next. All right? Okay. I'm possible. You're possible. Your girl NC Tasha Ty. I'm out. Look forward to part 8.